Alright, hello everyone and welcome to twitch.tv/HobbyBoxBurns. I am Joe Burns, HobbyBoxBurns, and we are here for, I believe this is night 13 of Final Fantasy XIV Online Shadowbringers. And what an auspicious number for us to have our final foray into the up to level 80 MSQ for Shadowbringers. Full on spoilers. So if you don't want spoilers for Shadowbringers, now's your time to leave. But Emmett Selk showed his hand last night, which is what we were expecting to happen at any time now. The Crystal Exarch tried to sacrifice himself for the greater good. Pulling the old Yeller thing where he tried to tell us that we were bad and evil to get us to be fine with him running away and saving our life. But that didn't happen. And so now we're just gathering strength to try to go out and figure out how not to turn into a light warden. The knight, which was gone throughout the whole of Norvrant for about 5 minutes, came back because we could not contain the light within ourselves. It's even less than 5 minutes, to be honest. So now we're going in to look in the deepest, darkest secrets of the Ocular to try to find out more information about the Crystal Exarch, who we also found out was Grahatia. One thing I am curious about. Hey, Baby Smell, how are you doing tonight? I'm still curious who Grahatia was talking about when we were hanging out with him, or the Crystal Exarch, excuse me. What he was talking about when we were on the hill outside of Amity. Who was the gal he was referring to? I highly doubt it was me, because I don't think they would. I don't think if it was a male warrior of light, that he would say he there. Maybe he would. I guess I don't know. That would be interesting if that were the case. So then the thoughts are is it Y'shtola? He said there was a history between the two of them, and that's why she left him in the Ocular. So maybe it's Y'shtola? We'll find out. I'm sure. Okay, I guess I'm not sure. I'm guessing he's not dead. Without seeing him one last time. So yes. So now, we got a key from Lena, who is the de facto granddaughter of Crystal Exarch. I better just call him the Crystal Exarch, because I better not get myself in too much trouble that way, because there's still the possibility for ambiguity, although we saw his face, so we're almost positive it's him, right? And really, if we say Crystal Exarch, somebody's jumping into the stream not knowing where we're at in the story, it won't be a spoiler, so I will just keep saying the Crystal Exarch. Lena has a key from him that he gave before he left to go witness our confrontation with Valkyrie, and then eventually Emmett Selk.
I have unlocked the door to the umbilicus. You are free to enter. Once you have what you require, I'll see it sealed once more. Until then, I will remain without.
Okay, so she's not even going in. Okay. So is that okay? Because I was curious if it was a guy, if he would say he instead of she. So yeah, maybe that is the case. I kind of got that feeling, but wasn't sure. What a mess. There's lots of people that have a platonic crush on the Warrior of Light, right? That's kind of like the running thing here. Oh, so he's just straight up told Urianger everything.
To collect my thoughts, I prithee. Thy true name is Grahatia, then?
Okay, well, so we know for sure.
By thy claims, thou too art a native of the Source, though from an age beyond our own, when the 8th umbral calamity hath visited devastation upon our star.
Okay, that's another question, but we'll keep going.
Subtle means reached across the boundaries of time and space to unsow the seeds of catastrophe, ere its creeping vines drag our champion unto an early grave.
In essence, yes. A difficult story to swallow, I am sure.
I doubt not the veracity of thy words, not the account of thy coming, nor that of the fated calamity. Yet my mind straineth still to apprehend the enormity of this tale. Wouldst thou favor me with a gradual unfolding of its chapters?
Certainly.
This music.
But where to begin? I should start with those great minds who survived the calamity. Sid Garland being perhaps the greatest.
It's like the Mormon Tabernacle Choir singing the theme here.
In hopes of staying the unending tides of war, he and his fellows pursued all manner of possible solutions. One of these was rooted in a theory which unified several fundamental principles discovered over the course of the Warrior of Light's adventures. It proposed a method by which one could enter the River of Time, traverse the rift, and leap between worlds. Perfecting that idea, however, was a work which consumed their lifetimes, and thus was it left to future generations to decide whether theory would be put into practice. But all the while, the world continued to burn. Hope was a feeble outpost, beset on all sides by thievery and misery and murder. People cried out in despair, "There is no hope, we are finished. Mankind is finished." Then others raised their voices in answer. Though we be beyond salvation, those who came before may yet be saved. We will forge a crossroads and pave the way for a different future. By the wisdom of our forebears, we will prevent this calamity from ever having come to pass. The fighting went on unabated, but some few took up Sid's research and labored to realize those impossible ideas. After 2 centuries of labor, their descendants finally succeeded in awakening the Crystal Tower, an integral part of the process, and, in doing so, roused its caretaker, me. By this stage, scholars had largely established the phenomena underpinning the rejoining, and identified the first as the shard which precipitated the 8th umbral calamity. This grand structure was already capable of storing the energies required to attempt the translocation. All that remained was to augment some few of its functions based upon the theoretical models of Sid and his compeers.
And by means of such technologies didst thou effect thine arrival in the first, to an age before this star had joined with the Source.
Some while before, as it turned out. It is all but impossible to predict how time will flow between one world and the next, and we missed our mark by almost an entire century.
Which is good, though. It gave you time to try to do stuff, right?
But this only worked in our favor.
Exactly.
The Sin Eaters could not be defeated without the blessing of light, and summoning the only woman who might stand a chance against them would require decades of preparation.
undertaking of scarce credible endurance. That thou hast kept thy plan from falling into disarray these many years bordereth on the miraculous. Yet howsoever history be rewritten, thy present self was shaped by events which followed the calamity. Should said catastrophe be averted, the very skein of thine existence will unravel. Surely thou hast foreseen.
Okay, that's what I was thinking about earlier. Like, if we succeed, he won't exist in this timeline anymore.
I am aware of the consequences. 'Tis for that very reason Cid and his colleagues bequeathed their legacy as an offering, and not an edict. To give all of oneself for the happiness of others, and with no promise of reward. 'Tis a hard thing to ask. Harder still for those condemned to survive in a world which pitted brother against brother. Indeed, you are right to call the execution of this plan miraculous, though the force which held it together was nothing so inexplicable. It was her. The warrior of light has been our unbroken thread. Where others would stumble and fall, she would rise above. Where others would break and run, she would carry on. The warrior of light's tale is one of unyielding bravery. To tell it was to feel courage. To hear it was to feel hope. It was a breath of inspiration in an age of suffocating shadow. In the histories of a fallen nation was our hero hailed as its greatest ally. In the time-worn pages of a noble's memoirs were her deeds joyously retold. For many, these stories were the flame which warmed them through the coldest of nights. And so it should come as little surprise that the plan found no shortage of volunteers, concerning as it did the Warrior of Light herself. It was their chance to add their own verse to the hero's saga. She was the lodestar that brought them all together, to send their final message back through time and space to her. The light of your legacy was our torch in the darkness. Burn bright again, and live.
Hey, he was totally talking about us.
I am merely the bearer of that wish, come to ensure it is safely delivered.
My head hurts.
Sharest thou this burden with me and no other? What wouldst thou have me say?
That you will be my accomplice? 'Twas you yourself who convinced me of your suitability when you spoke of how you learned of the Flood, and of your part in arranging Minfilia's journey to the First. Your actions showed uncommon resolve. 'Twas clear you were committed to the cause of saving this world. I knew I could trust you to choose the right path forward, even if that choice came with a heavy price.
What price?
When all is said and done, and the last of the Light Wardens lies slain, I will absorb their corrupted ether, and then I will die. Knowing what I know of your companions, not to mention your champion, they will try to stop me.
Yeah, this is the old Yeller tactic that we were talking
Saving
about.
one, they would save none. Therefore, I implore you to aid me in concealing my identity, and ensuring this tale ends as it must. To this end, I would have you take what I have told you of the Calamity, and make of it a portent. A prophetic vision you beheld in the swirling chaos of the rift.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Truly thy wish.
I figured that once we found out that he like knew about this, I kind of figured that whole thing was a ruse. That he didn't see this stuff in traveling here. He just saw the same stuff everybody else did. He was just in on the inside on what the Exarch needed to do.
History remembered the Warrior of Light, as I knew it would. And I will suffer no other to rescue the champion whose star has charted my course. I will see this tale to a happy end, my friend. There has been enough tragedy.
Sounds good, baby smell. Hope you enjoy the food.
Careful now. If you lose control again, the light could claim you for good. Although it's probably only a matter of time before you succumb to the change in any case.
Well, thanks, Artbert. You're doing a great job of keeping me calm.
What do you mean to do?
I mean to have a few words, both with Emmett and the Exarch. Yeah, I think it's a dual focus thing.
We should be on our way. The Ascian mentioned the Tempest, did he not?
Yeah, where the hell's that?
Stormy seas around Calusia to you. His lair must be down there somewhere, hidden beneath the waves.
Ah, okay. Okay, so here I thought we were going to have to try to search high and low for the Tempest, but no, Ardbert just knows where it is. Easy mystery solved. One thing I wanted to check out here first. Timers, that's what I was looking for. Okay. So the new week began. Did you find the answers you sought? If there is nothing more you need, I will go and lock the door. I have some questions about the Tempest. The Tempest? That is the name given to the seas by which Calusia is bound. If you make a request to the Tamers, they will provide you with an Amaro to fly you over the waters, but... Do you mean to leave right this moment alone? I am not sure that... Nay, I will not seek to stop you. Go with the blessings of the Shadow, and I shall await your safe return. Okay, so we have to speak to the Amaro Keep. But first... But wait, there's more. We should take care of some of these things. Alright, so we're going to go to Doma quickly before we carry on with the story. And sell some of the things we can no longer use. And then I think we might craft that one thing we need to craft. Although I might just dump that stuff into an inventory. Is actually probably what I should do. Catmandu Lightfoot. Catmandu. Alright, so that is good. Nope. Okay. So this is the level 76 weapon. That can definitely go. This was the old. Yep. So this can definitely go. Do we have a helmet to get rid of? Yeah. So let's see here. We're actually pretty good with this stuff, but we might as well get rid of that. Oh, I can equip this. All right, well we'll equip that and sell the other things then. These can go. Down there. Hey, we might get our full allowance here with this one set of sales. Or close, anyway. I must have already sold my boots. Pugilist, Lancer. I mean, we're okay there. We're definitely okay there. Okay. Alright, that's going to be good enough for another area, I'm guessing. On behalf of the Shazankai, Callista, I thank you for your support. As I am sure you are aware, the southern portion of the yard under Master Suanuki's supervision is coming along quite well. Moreover, construction of the buildings adjacent to my office has begun. Several of these buildings have been designated for the production of traditional Doman arts and crafts, including paper. You may recall the gentleman we met in the stalls the other day, Master Araragi. He will be overseeing matters there. Come to think of it, perhaps you should go and introduce yourself to him. I know not if you have spoken with him since, but given the circumstances of that first meeting, he may not remember you. Was he drunk? Oh, kinda went the wrong way. There is no wrong way. There is only the way. Callista, was it? Forgive me. During our brief encounter at the stalls, I neglected to introduce myself properly. I am Araragi, a papermaker by trade. 'Tis all I have ever known in my life, my altogether too long life. Greetings, Master Araragi. The construction of your paper mill is proceeding as planned, I trust. More or less, though it has not escaped my notice that progress on the ironmonger's workshops is outpacing mine. 1,000 pardons, Master Araragi. You may be assured that the Shazenkai has not chosen to favor either one of your proposals over the other.
I know that full well, child. Save your apologies. I but give voice to my frustration at falling behind the old goat. Huh.
If Master Suanuki has wronged or offended you in some fashion, perhaps the Shazenkai could arbitrate.
No, there is no need for anything so dramatic. We have a long and storied history, he and I. Though our paths diverged long ago, we are peers, masters of our respective trades. And yet every time we cross paths, I cannot help but see him as the reckless apprentice he once was. He brings out the worst in me. But never mind that. You wish to know of our progress, yes? As you can see, all is on schedule. Your contributions have helped us to come far indeed. Though it will be some time before we can begin producing paper as before, rest assured that the day will come before you know it, and the quality will surpass all expectations. For centuries, Doman paper has been coveted the world over, and with good reason. The fibers of the kozo, a variety of your western mulberry, I believe, and the waters of the One River combine to create a product like none other. Each sheet is produced one at a time with a technique unchanged since antiquity. Though relatively quick, the process takes years to master. Yet the effort is well worth it. Doman paper was prized for both its durability and its beauty, so much so that merchants would bicker and squabble and strive to outbid one another. So certain they were that they could still turn a profit. Indeed, it was arguably our most successful export. Kami willing, it will be again, which reminds me, Kozakura, my dear, I trust you have given thought to whom we might sell our paper once production has commenced in earnest. While I am aware of our agreements with the Zala traders and the Confederacy, I doubt very much that these parties will put much store by our product.
We have made inquiries, but have yet to receive any replies. But you needn't worry about such things. We will see to the mercantile matters. You and your workers should devote your energies to building the mill.
Have no doubt that we are. I mislike losing to my iron-headed competitor. The road ahead is long, but I pray you will continue to walk it with us.
As long as I don't die.
Construction of the yard is proceeding apace, and Kozakura is confident that the Shazenkai have found a wholesale trader willing to purchase paper by the time Araragi's mill is ready to begin production. I'm guessing it's Hancock. As you continue to contribute to the Shazenkai and the reconstruction effort, in what other ways might the Doman Enclave grow and change? The world may never know.
Oh, can't go through there. We can go through here, though. Alright, so quickly stop by the summoning bell to dump a couple other things into inventories here. Entrust or withdraw items. So we'll put the marbled eye, and we can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. And we can get rid of that. We can get rid of more stuff, too. We don't need gardening stuff. I don't know. It's somewhere to sell the stuff to empty my inventory in my armory chest. Basically, the only reason. Good place to sell my stuff that I've used and can't get rid of elsewise. I'm not at high enough level to desynth stuff, so this is the easiest way to get rid of it and see some progress on something. You know, you do get a merchant's Heori from it? I do not. What is that? What's a merchant's Heori? Oh, is that like a hat? Amuro launch, I'm guessing. I figured I'd get something once it completes.
You require an Amuro? Just a moment, I shall saddle our swiftest beast to fly you to the island. The open water? To the depths of the tempest. Our Amuro can swim, yes, but to reach the ocean floor.
Well, I mean, we have mounts that can go down there, too. It's like a Japanese coat some NPCs wear, like the Sekisegumi from Kugane. Gotcha. Uh-oh. Hold it together. Hold it together.
Ah, we have found thee.
Sorry, migraine.
Word reached us of thy recovery, and thus did we gather with all haste. Ah. By thy looks, I gather thou hast gleaned that which I came to tell thee.
Urianger has shared everything with us. The Exarch's true identity and purpose.
I offer no excuses.
You don't need to apologize. You were
When
doing
I
what you
agreed
needed to
aid
do.
the Exarch with his plans, 'twas in full acceptance of the condemnation I would face when my duplicity was laid bare.
I mean, this is like the 8th time you've played both sides, Urianger.
It is not rancor, but resolve that I sense in thee. Thou art fully intent upon walking thy path to its end, art thou not? If thou canst forgive my deception, or, failing that, set aside thy displeasure for a time, I do beg leave to follow thee. What strength and wisdom I possess are thine to command.
Yeah, this is just par for the course with Urianger. Exactly. I forgive you, let's go.
I thank thee. Doubt not but that I will do all in my power to repay thy kindness and fulfill the Exarch's wishes.
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is a good idea.
What do you know? You're just a child. Shut up.
Leaving the Crystarium, I mean, with or without Urianger. What I did for you won't last forever. There's no telling when the light will break free again. Please, you must stay here, at least for a little while longer. We will find a way to cure this, I promise you.
How can you make promises? We don't even know where to start.
Alize, please. You know Reen was only trying to help.
Of course I know! I know only too well! But making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. It's a lie. Plain and simple. We've all searched high and low for an answer, and every one of us came back empty-handed. I am not about to stand in her way now. Not after failing her in her hour of need. No, the least we can do is...
Elfino is like, is this emotion I sense?
We will go with you as well.
He kind of makes me think like he's Data from Star Trek The Next Generation. Huh. Curious. He has
There's naught
emotions.
to be gained by standing still.
Indeed, we have exhausted every other avenue. Lead, and we shall follow. If there is any hope to be found, then we will surely find it at your side.
That was like her Oscar-winning moment. No, that was awesome. Alice always was...
Are we all in agreement then?
Okay, I wouldn't say always was, but Stormblood made Alice probably my favorite, like, companion, and that cemented it right there.
Is there aught we can do to help?
Though we may not know the whole story, we do know you're in for a fight. And while the Exarch's away, it falls to the rest of us to see the Warrior of Darkness is given a proper send-off.
How did you know?
No. Well, not in so many words.
Aye, we didn't need it spelled out for us. When the night sky appeared over whichever place you went to, it was harder not to put two and two together.
I mean, yeah, like, do people really think that people didn't know?
The moment I heard that you and the Exarch shared the homeland, I had my suspicions. Long had he been waiting for a certain someone to arrive. And I knew at once that it must be you.
Exactly. When he went up to meet you, 'twas clear it was no ordinary visitor. That spring in his step spoke volumes. I could feel his excitement.
Yeah! I do too! I just pretended I'm really cool.
We do not fully understand where you or the Exarch hail from, or why you've all done so much to protect us. But we are deeply grateful nonetheless.
It was only for our own good.
So, if there is anything at all we might do to aid your journey, you need only name it. What would you have of us?
You might have invited them to join us, where there are not so many. But come, they are waiting. What is your will, O Warrior of Darkness?
Hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. No, defend the Crystarium until we return. Not making any false promises that we will bring the Exarch back. So we have no control over some of the stuff that could happen. There's nothing I can do to cleanse you of the light's corruption, but I'll do everything in my power to keep it in check. If the Warden's ether overwhelms you again, you will become a Sin Eater. So please, save your strength for when it really matters. The volunteers who journeyed to Kalusia have all been safely returned to their homes. They've also assured us that they will do their best to hold the Eaters at bay in our absence. Gods know you've spent enough time charging into danger on our behalf. It's only fair that we return the favor. Yeah, we gotta save Alisay for last. I once said that I wanted to fight for Estinian, that I wanted to save him, not let him be sacrificed for a cause. And now I say the same to you. Just so you know, I will not look kindly on any further attempts to leave us behind. We do this together. Thou didst plan to commandeer an Amuro for thy journey to the open sea? I fear the following dive down into Emet-Selk's underwater abode would drain even thy legendary stamina. Thus, during thy convalescence, we considered the most efficacious method for reaching the depths of the Tempest, and I believed we have arrived at an elegant solution. Yet ere we discuss this step, I suggest thou dost conclude such pressing business as remains to thee in the Crystarium. Once the sea closeth above our heads, we are unlikely to surface again until our grand deed is done. I don't think I have anything else to do here. Like, I could go do the role quest quick, but I don't know. We're riding this train now. To storm-tossed seas. Hey, we get oysters. Yay, what I always wanted. Urianger is patiently awaiting word that you are ready to depart. Thine affairs are in order? Then I shall unfold to thee my proposal.
Our destination is the ocean floor, yet our goal is not simply to arrive there. Nay, we must needs have the means to breathe and fight freely. Thus would I petition the aid of one of the Fae, a being with whom I have yet to meet face to face. Rather than waste words on explanation, I bid thee follow me unto the hamlet of Sullen, which lieth to the south and west. All will become abundantly clear, I promise thee.
Hey, we've been there before. The random beast tribe quest. I was gonna say, I mean, like, in like the lore of the world, technically, like, I shouldn't have, as a possible sin eater, been able to go back to the source just now, to the Doman Enclave. But you know, I did it. Actually, is there a... No, there really isn't a closer thing, is there? I just wasted my sprint. Because I was going to say, it's not like the game ever shuts off your teleportation so you just can't go anywhere. At least not that I remember. What mount do we get? Yeah. Bum ba dum ba dum bum 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 bum. Oh no, pull up, pull up! Dude weed. Yeah, I know. Some of the names of the things here are kind of strange.
There, to the west, canst thou discern the hump of an isle rising above the water? That foliage-covered mass hideth the key to our safe descent. Swim close, and plunge thee beneath the surface. Thou shalt soon divine the reason for mine insistence. Though it be much to my shame, I can but flail and flounder where thou mayest glide as a fish. I shall board a boat to the island, and spare one and all the spectacle of mine inept strokes.
Wow! Dive! There it is. Two curved slabs of rock seem squeezed together here, giving the impression of giant stone eyelids. Though it appears solid enough, the rock yields slightly under your touch. Was the surface gently shifting, or was it just your imagination? Ah, so this is like a... This is a creature that when it awakes can take us where we need to go. The locals call this the Isle of Ken, which I presume must refer to knowledge. Either that or someone was being awfully zealous about marking his territory. Well, what hast thou discerned? It reminds me of a certain primal. Behemoth. Not Behemoth. Bismarck. Most perceptive. According to the lore of the Pixies, we are, even now, perched upon the back of an ancient Fey entity. The name is Bismarck. Aye, the self-same title by which we know the great feathered whale revered by the Vanu Vanu of the Source. I would enlist its aid to bear us into the deep, and thence banish the water with an airy sphere, alike in form to the domes which do shelter the hamlets neath the Ruby Sea. Within its compass we may move unencumbered, and defend ourselves when the hour of battle cometh, as it most surely shall. Now I must needs ask for silence whilst I make my supplication. Silence. Silence.
Wir Sach, Bilan Bismail.
The first thing... Long has it been since my name was called. I just finished a orange sparkling water, and now I am drinking a fake ginger ale. Why do you wake me, little neighbor?
Fallen si lor wislan. Adas si alinal.
Van Urs Atslir, Olfod Thim, Iri Guath Thi.
Oh dear. I don't need to speak Fey to know that didn't go well.
I said silence!
We need Feo Ul.
My snake yet! You've learned to call me at last! And where do you go? On a trip? A journey? I knew you wouldn't give up without a fight. Oh, my precious mortal, I shall help you in any way I can. Yes, Bismail we picked. Van Dromi Drom Jacob. Van Red Rithje.
It's good to be the king.
Ahai Una, Sahawin Ulsk. Isnevim, Sur Vierlo.
Be sure to scrub this one's teeth for him upon your return. He's only got manners.
It will be done, Your Majesty. Our deepest thanks for your timely intervention.
An agreement is reached and your departure is at hand. You wingless ones best hold on tight.
I love that they're playing this this theme too.
Keep you safe in Ba.
No fall no ruis. Van in narsitar. Dir sitagnai.
Nice.
And just like that, it's all gone back to the way it was.
What was you expecting? 100 years of honey and rainbows? Seeing them Yulmore types wake up and smell the ashes was miracle enough for me.
Ah, the magic in the air when that ladder started moving. And when that great hulking Talos rose up. Gods. I could live 1,000 years and never behold anything so amazing.
What the? Do you see that?
What a monster! Where did it even come from?
Uh-oh. Oh no!
Whoa there! It's not stopping! Run! Run!
A little bit of well-timed comedic relief there, huh? Oh, but how do we get back, Bismarck? This is bonk. Here you go. Plop you down right here.
The breath of Bismarck. See how it swells to form a dome beneath the waves? The waters recede. The tempest's floor is laid bare. In defiance of the blinding sky, this place holds fast to its gloom. The last refuge of he who denies the light with every fiber of his being. You stand at the precipice, hero. Journey unto the heart of darkness. Finish it.
Cthulhu?
The Tempest.
Yeah, I played WoW way back when, shortly after it came out, off and on for a couple of years. I had a troll hunter that I got into the mid, or to like right at 40. And then I think I had a orc shaman that I got to the mid 40s, but never made it much farther than that.
I remember being impressed by the domes of the Ruby Sea, but this makes them look like bubbles in a stream. Bismarck must be powerful indeed to create a dome of this size. I can only pray to whichever gods are listening that it continues to hold. This is amazing. I can't even see the surface. With all that water out of the way, we'll be able to venture quite some distance. Emmett Selk must be hiding around here somewhere. I dare say Urianger endured much playful attention from the Pixies to learn the lore of Bismarck. He is nothing if not a dedicated scholar. Ha ha! Full glad am I that Bismarck was true to his word. We are arrived in the Tempest, safe and dry. 'Tis here that we shall find the lair of Emmett Selk, and I believe the imprisoned Exarch as well. For an Ascian alone, it is of course a trifling matter to flee unto the rift. Yet I suspect such travel is nigh impossible with a mortal in one's custody. Nay, he would not soon risk his prize when the Exarch's very body serveth as the key to the Crystal Tower and its powers of temporal transportation. Thus am I all but certain that this underwater realm harboreth our friend and enemy both. We have but to find them.
In the event that you leave the area, speak with Inul at Venmont Yards in Calusia to return to the Tempest. I was gonna say, do we have ether currents down here too? Of course we do. Of course we do. Waiting in the depths. Thancred casts his gaze across the waterless expanse before you. Now, as for where we should be looking, I rather doubt Emmett Selk will be sitting around out in the open. I propose we follow the slope down towards the sea trenches, and keep an eye out for rock formations large enough to house a stronghold. Let's be off then, but watch your footing. The ground is still wet, and like to be slippery. There's a map in BFA where it's similar to this. The sea is receded from an area and you can quest in it. It looks much better than this section of the map. Everything here just looks so great. Yeah, it is a little bland. 54, so it should be right close here. There it is. There it is. Yeah, it should be really interesting if you think about it. You can explore the seabed in other areas you wouldn't normally be able to. Yeah, I think it's just from a color palette perspective. Like, you can have some of, like, the anemone stuff, like they have. But otherwise, there's not... If it's supposed to be mostly darkness, there's not a lot you can do from a lighting perspective, I guess. This outcrop seemeth natural enough. I think Thancred has the right idea, but I can't help but... Oh, you're getting attacked!
by a deep sea leech. But I can't help wondering what Emmett Selk would be doing down here without the aid of gills and fins. The ocean floor is a strange place to be, of course, but this ether, 'tis like naught I've ever seen. Then again, you're supposed to be in a giant air bubble beneath the surface of the sea, so that would explain why it's dark, yeah. Alright, well let's see if we got another one of these somewhere close. 285 yalms to the east. There's a hole in the air bubble. That can't be a good thing. I suppose I can still mount. I just can't fly. Probably gonna be up on the shelf. Would make sense. Oh crap, it's up there. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Nope. Slowly make our way upwards. It's gotta be a way up. Not there though. Over here, it's low enough, maybe? No? Well, son of a gun. So close, but yet so far away. This is just back where we were, right? Pretty sure. Is there a different way up there then? There's a fate right there, I guess. Well, I mean, it looks like there's another pathway, so it's probably like circles around and comes back. The unicorn didn't like that fall. So let's try this. Hey, Lilypad, how's it going? I'm doing well. How are you today? Oh, it's like a Sahagin. Where the dry return. Hey, nice. Got your first COVID shot. Side effects, no fun. Oh, no. I was, the first shot I didn't get any side effects. The second shot I did.
the day following, that evening after was it wasn't terrible, but I was pretty sore, headache, muscle, like all up here, muscles were not great. Felt kind of queasy, but the next day it was quite a bit better, and then the day after that I was perfectly fine. So just took some time. But then again, like, one of my coworkers had absolutely no side effects. So it hits everybody differently. My job didn't require it, but I was offered it because of my job. I work in healthcare. Not direct patient care, but I do work for a health system. Yeah, lots of states now are opening it up. I know Minnesota, starting today, it's open up to anybody can register if you're 16 and up. No requirements anymore. Because now the supply is high enough, and the goal is, like, basically whoever wants it can get it now. Okay, good. Well, there. So that just took a little bit of an excursion. 419 yalms to the southwest. So that's kind of the direction we need to go in. Well, the whole idea is, yeah, the whole idea is, the more people that have it, the better chance of getting to herd immunity, right? So the more people that have been vaccinated, the fewer chances that it's going to spread, which means things can open back up. So if you look at it, that's part of it. It'll allow, like, the economy to maybe get back to normal faster. Air quotes normal. Oh. Search for anything unusual on the Norvrant slope. Oh, that's not true, Baby Smell. I'll disagree with you on that. Minnesota's been mostly opened up for quite some time now. Burns and I will be around forever. Aw, that sucks, Lily. That's terrible. How you doing, Tom? Hope you're having a good evening. Whoa. That's a little bit of a drop. I don't know that I want to go down there right now. Especially since I can't fly here yet. You're supposed to be writing your column? Looking for inspiration? Well, this is a place that you are a long ways away from in Final Fantasy XIV. Just dragging ass. Alright. We are attuned to the Aetheryte, so that is good. Should be doing math, but these post-vaccine effects make you sleepy. Should be playing Bloodborne. I haven't made it back to it since Sunday. I've since Saturday. But I have tomorrow off of work, so tomorrow I'm going to spend some time with it. And hopefully be able to take down Father Gascon. Either that or else he's the end of me. One of the two.
The finless ones, they followed me. Why have you come? Was it you who took away our water?
He's a paid. He was nearly the end of you. Well, we'll see if I can make it through or not.
Ah, so this is where the Ondo make their home. I had wondered.
At least he doesn't scream it all ends in me. Yeah, exactly. No more of the medium. I had my fill of that game.
Pray forgive us any inconvenience we have caused. We were not aware your people lived here in the Tempest. We need this great dome of air that we might conduct a most urgent search, and thus beg you for your understanding. Chieftain, what are we to do? Look at me. Are you emissaries of the Ancient Ones?
I don't know what that means.
The mysteries have stirred. We have seen the illuminated land shining through the gloom of the abyss. If you are the emissaries, the chosen, I bid you welcome. If you are not, I bid you leave. I am not sure I understand. Would you be willing to elaborate?
Hey, thank you for the
Poppy Box Prime Slub.
Do you want to talk about our feelings? No. No feelings. Thanks again for the Prime sub, Tom.
It would seem not. I suggest we withdraw for the moment.
Yeah, they shouldn't do these close-ups with their low-res models. Yeah, you really... Well, and it's funny because you see what details they focus on with the characters, and then, like, you'll see, like, certain armor details that'll look really good, and then other ones that are just, like, gross.
So what's the plan? Given your condition, I'm reluctant to suggest lingering here. That said, our presently meandering search would proceed far more swiftly if we could call upon the Ondo's local knowledge. Yes, I'd like to know more about this illuminated land the chieftain spoke of. Could it be Emmett Selk's stronghold, do you suppose? Perhaps he lit the lanterns upon his return?
Thancred should hardly be talking about conditions. Well, a lot's happened with Thancred since where you're at in the story and where I'm at in the story.
We cannot dismiss the possibility, but if these Ondo refuse to speak with us... Callista, do you remember my first scheme for entering Yulemoor? How I had planned to ingratiate myself by offering lucrative trading opportunities with the Ondo. The individual I dealt with was reticent in manner and curious in custom, but we were able to reach an agreement nonetheless. I believe that with the right approach, we can build a similar relationship here.
What kind of approach do you have in mind? The chieftain fellow didn't leave us many options.
If we are to tread the swiftest course, then we must needs locate its beginning. 'Tis plain our all too dramatic arrival hath thrown this settlement into confusion. Were we to solve such problems as we have caused, and assure our hosts thereby that our purpose here is not inimical to them, they may yet prove amenable to reason.
Been watching Jerry Maguire recently, Tom?
I smell chores, but very well, if it can be done quickly. What do you think? I've nothing better to offer, but I do worry what will happen if the Ondo's tales end up leading us to a dead end.
Like every day, dude. You complete me? That's from that movie too, right?
I cannot say for certain, but I sense this tribe has a deeper connection to the Asians than first meets the eye. It warrants further investigation. Thus, I cast my vote in favor of aiding the settlement for the time being.
Yeah. Let's do what we do best.
Then it is settled. Yashola, pray proceed with your investigations. The rest of us will see about fostering some goodwill.
Maybe for Unfiltered we should just read a radio drama some month? We could. I mean, we could really do whatever we want with that show, right? As long as it seems like it's worth some money.
Alright, Elfino. Callista, you won't believe who I've just bumped into. This is Posh Owen, the very fellow I did business with prior to our ill-fated stay in Yulmore. Alright, yeah, have a good night, Tom. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the sub. Good luck on finishing up the column. I waited, and you did not come. Then the mistel came, but his visits did not continue. I am truly sorry, Posh Owen. Things did not proceed as planned. Is there aught we can do for you by way of an apology? Perhaps. Where the dry return, a cavern to the north is home to giant crabs. We do not fear the crab, for we are the swifter swimmers. But now there is no water. We run and they scuttle close behind, snipping and snapping with their claws. There are too many of them, too many. Ah, I believe I can be of assistance there. And what of you, Callista? If you've not found a task, you are most welcome to join me. Indeed, I should appreciate the company. Where the dry return has a rather ominous ring to it. Kinda does. $225 to the west. No, we were just there. Ba-dum-bum. Oop, don't go down there. We probably can't fall down there, I would guess. Well, if you need to get to bed early and then wake up in the morning, Lily, to finish up math stuff, that's always a possibility too. Yeah. Trilobite. Oh, we're going the wrong way. Yeah, good night, Lily. Hope you feel better in the morning. Amphisbaena. These crabs? That's what you were worried about? These things are nothing. Oh, that was wasted. How many of these? We have to kill 3. Okay, one more then. And we've got fast travel, so that helps. That's right at the bottom. The Ondo Cups. Cautious Owen. You could crack their shells. You must be stronger than you look. I see you've reached your quota first again. I shall never be your equal in such tasks. Still, I would say we have reduced the local crab population to a far less threatening number. My thanks to both of you. You must have a reward. Nay, Cautious Owen. This was but a part of my apology to you, remember? Besides which, the lack of water is our doing, for which we must also make amends. Might I convince you to tell us something about your village instead? I would very much like to learn more of you and your people. Very well. Before the flood came, it is said that our ancestral home was found in the seas to the south. It was utterly destroyed by the light. Only those who were out hunting survived. They swam aimless and lost, until they spied buildings here on the ocean floor. Strange buildings they were, and long had they stood under the water. Yet somehow they had been spared the scars of time and current. These structures provided shelter for my people, protection from the tempest's turbulent waters, and the predators which hunted within them. Their very existence seemed a miracle. But the first settlers pondered their good fortune. It was clear that the race who had built such wonders had guided their course, and from this did they discern the truth. That the ancients had chosen us to serve as caretakers of their eternal sanctuary until such time as they returned. Thus, if it is judged that your coming, and this great vanishing of water was by the ancients' design, you will find warm welcome here. A truly astonishing history. Yet I cannot help but wonder how will the significance or otherwise of our arrival be decided. The ancients have blessed us with protection and prosperity. If your presence serves to bring us the same, there will be no doubt in the matter. Then it would seem our earlier decision was the correct one. We thank you for your lessons, Cautious Owen, and will continue to do all we can to assist your people. Should you desire our help with any other trouble, pray do not hesitate to ask. We should return to the task at hand. Only do try not to overexert yourself, my friend. The risk far outweighs the gain. This is still a pretty massive area, isn't it? Though I guess this is very similar to the locks in Stormblood, the last area that you open up. City of the Ancients. Y'shtola appears deep in thought. Ah, Callista, have you learned aught of note? Fascinating, and precisely the sort of information I was hoping to hear. In fact, if you have a moment, I'd like to borrow your eyes to confirm a theory I've been working on. Come. And we got ether current tasks. Narosis Cole is eyeing you with naked interest. Hail, finless one, and welcome to the Cups! Long have I waited to converse with one of your kind. I am called Narosis Cole. How may I address you? Callista Tobu, curious. Before we speak at length, there is something I would show to you. Let us leave behind the cups and head due west. Come.
Alright, I think that's the way that we have to go to meet with Y'shtola anyway, so perfect. 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 Oh, okay, we do have to go down here. Curly Q. Whoa! Oh, this is crazy. Just keep going down, down, down. Oh, he is way up top, isn't he? And so is she. This is the wrong way. Well, let's see if there's an ether current down here. To the east. Oh, can't go down there. That must be above us. Oh, it's right up there, isn't it? I was going to take that. Bum, 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 ba-dum. I guess that probably would have plopped us right back up here, wouldn't it have? Oh, well. Live and learn. And then get loves. Alright, well, we'll have to go down here for something at some point, I'm sure. Alright, way to the east. Over that way, okay. Dagon. Narocious Coal. These are relics of your kind, yes? The leavings of a ship that sailed the seas above long, long ago. Is it? They lie as they fell, untouched by any Ondo, for most have little interest in the affairs of the Finless. I, however, do, ever since I was saved by one of yours after being washed ashore, weary and near death. Such kindness is a rare and wonderful thing, and I would know more of the people who showed it to me. And so I ask you, Callista Tobu, to teach me of your ways.
These objects, for example, what purpose do they serve? How are they to be used? Nerocious Cole gestures to the nearby debris, entreating you to inspect them closely and offer up a detailed explanation. Oh. Ah. The debris is right there. Barrels? Among the debris you spy what appears to be the remnants of several shadowed bottles of wine. Such fragile containers they were. I suspect they once contained something of great value. What can you tell me of their purpose? They were used as makeshift weapons, first to bludgeon, then to stab. They were used to store intoxicating spirits. Fragrant liquids which cloud the mind. I have heard of these before. Do finless ones so delight in dulling their wits? That looks like a wheel. Among the debris you spy what appears to be a rotting ship's wheel. That was carved from wood from one of your many trees, yes? What purpose does this peculiar contraption serve? Fashion, you wear it on your head. Love that you can be a complete shit to them. Ah, the vessels your kind uses to traverse our waters. Then without a wheel, it is at the mercy of the wind and the currents, I see. Thank you, Callista Tobu. In our short time together, you have already taught me so much. A pity that none of these pearls of wisdom will serve my needs. Nerocious! What are you thinking, wandering off on your own with this finless one? This is no time for you to fiddle with their leavings. The Clutch Mother is in terrible distress. No, you do not understand. I brought her here to... Pray forgive this child his impudence. I am Zerocious Owen, and on behalf of the Clutch Mother I come to entreat your assistance. It seems you do not realize that in driving back the waters of the Tempest, you have placed our beloved Clutch Mother, leader of the Ondo, in mortal peril. She is pregnant. Here in the depths she will give birth to many, many eggs. We male Ondo will then take them into our care and raise them as our own. But absent the flowing waters, we know not if she will be able to deliver them safely. If not, the future of our people will be in jeopardy. The flood of light claimed many Ondo lives. Though we have rebuilt our numbers somewhat in the decades since, it would be devastating to lose an entire generation, or worse, the Clutch Mother herself. She wishes to speak with you directly, that we might together find a solution to this dilemma. Will you return with me to the Cups? Nerocious, come. I will not let you trouble our guest or the Clutch Mother further. That sounds ominous. Everything I have done for her. So that's back at the village now. Okay, so first... see what Yashtola's up to. Now, there are two tasks I would have you perform. The first requires you to inspect the buildings which surround the Ondo settlement, and note their most distinctive characteristics. For the second, I wish you to use this knife to take scrapings from one of the remnant walls. Pray be as thorough as you can. I shall be waiting here for the results of your investigations. Alright, so here is a survey point. Ethel the Aardvark goes quantity surveying. Alright, so we're looking for... Identify their most distinctive features. Oh, we can't go any more to the... Tis a distinctive window. The tall, slender towers feature many elaborate windows, the likes of which you have seen nowhere else. That's the only thing. I thought the big green orbs was going to be something too. Apparently that's not peculiar enough. Bum, 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 bum. Remnant wall. You set the point of the knife against the wall, but even after applying considerable pressure, you cannot remove so much as a flake of stone. It's some hefty stone, Y'shtola. Far stronger than it should be. Oops. And what have you discovered? I don't know. Yes, I would agree that the windows are most distinctive. 'Twould seem the structures appear the same to both your sight and mine. And you say you could not so much as scratch the wall, even with all your might behind the blade? Callista, everywhere I turn in this place, my gaze is drawn by peculiar materials for which I do not have a name. The buildings I had you investigate are prime examples. They may appear to be constructed of ordinary stone, but I assure you it is nothing of the sort. If pressed, I would describe the substance as a composite of several mineral properties, blended to create a material of unparalleled durability. Even the Ronken Empire, once the greatest power in Norvrant, produced nothing which compares to this level of perfection. But if not the Ronkens, then who? Who were these ancients the Ondo claim as the architects of their sanctuary? I suspect our answer lies with the reason Emek Selk withdrew here to the Tempest. He may simply have wished to retreat somewhere mere mortals would struggle to reach, but there are many such remote locations. Why here specifically? Emet Selk is devoted to his role, and thus we might assume his choice of stronghold somehow serves the Ascian agenda. Or mayhap 'tis a place more dear to him than any other. Are you saying that this was built by the ancient Ascians? Now that would be like you could make the meme with the aliens guy from the History Channel, only it would be Ascians. Ancient Ascians. That is my theory, that these structures are remnants of a time before history, of a star that was yet whole and unbroken. Such traces in the source would have been obliterated by the succession of umbral calamities, but here in the first they might have remained untouched for millennia. A copy of the mural in the Katana Ravel. Almet presented it to me during my visit to Fano, after our victory in Kaluja. Oh yeah. Here, in the first scene, by Emmett Selk's own words, it depicts a city of eons past, and the disaster which befell it. The design is much simplified, of course, but do you see the similarities between its towers and those you have just inspected? Windows, shaped like that. We are close to the truth, I feel. Let us search the surrounds for another tower, one which matches the picture near enough to remove all doubt. From what I have seen, not more than sand and more sand lies to the east, and the south held no such structures. I suggest we try our luck further to the northwest. You may view the Katana Ravel mural at any time during this quest by using the relevant item in the key items menu. The quest destination will not be displayed on the map. You must search for a structure which resembles the buildings in the mural, then inspect it from the survey point. The survey point will be found nearby, in a location which allows a full view of the structure. Alright, so we just gotta wander now. So since we'll be wandering, we might as well also see if we can track down an ether current. Northwest. See gelatin. Eat gelatin. $260 to the southwest. So that way. Well, not seeing anything yet that looks like that stuff. Oh! Another landlubber. $151 yalms to the south. I mean, that's not what we're supposed to be looking for, right? It might be. Stumbled upon it. You just gotta look for the big, ominous green claw thing. It was that easy. Aye, this is the mural writ large. Though I cannot guess at its purpose, it must have been an imposing sight. How much of the tower's height lies hidden beneath the ground, I wonder? Centuries of our history have settled upon such ruins, countless layers of dust and sediment. An entire civilization, its existence forgotten by all except a handful of Asians. And yet it did exist. They lived here, in this city. But let us focus on what we've learned thus far. The Ondo chieftain spoke of mysteries stirring, of a land illuminated. Judging by his words, he believes this phenomenon related to the ancients' return. Thus can we surmise that what the Ondo saw shining in the abyss was, in all likelihood, yet another remnant of this age-old civilization. And who else would light the lanterns, as Reen put it, than Emmett Selk himself? 'Tis almost certain he is there. "'Tis almost certain." But if we are to find this stronghold in a timely manner, it seems gaining the Ondo's trust remains our swiftest path forward. I only hope our deeds are enough to win them over. The light of inspiration. Y'shtola seems eager to share your discoveries with the others. Thank you for assisting me with my investigations. I shall seek out our companions and share what we have learned. Much as I would like to tell you to sit down and leave the rest to us, your condition demands that we make all reasonable haste. If you are not too weary, it may be useful to speak with Paushas Owen again, and ask if there is aught else he is willing to divulge. 44 yalms to the east. Oh, is it? Oh, there it is. There it is. There we go. Alright, so there's... We're making pretty good progress on that, at least. $335 yalms to the south. Bum, 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 bum. Walls of the Forgotten. So I'm guessing this is going to be like a elevator or something. The Norvrant Slope. To the south. Well, this isn't scary at all. Oh, south. Oh, it's down below. I'd hazard a guess. Alright, so let's see if we can loop around to that somehow over here. Huh, yeah, there must be the lower paths must lead there somehow. Interesting. So we can't make it there. Alright, let's head back then. And we'll turn in that side quest. And see if there's another side quest that takes us over to the east where there was another ether current.
Zerocious Owen.
Beyond this gate resides the Clutch Mother. Approach and hearken to her words.
Honored guest, I, Clutch Mother of the Ondo, do bid you welcome to our realm. You will forgive me for receiving you in this fashion. For the safety and well-being of my children unborn, I must remain within, away from the dangers without. As you know, under normal circumstances, this place would be filled with blessed water, from which I would draw strength and support to bring these eggs into this world. Alas, I am but half submerged now, and I fear for my ability to fulfill my sacred duty. I am given to understand you and yours are the ones responsible for drawing back the waters of our realm. With good reason, I am sure. However, it is my sincere hope that you will agree to aid us, given that you are responsible for the state of affairs. Fear not, I desire no direct assistance. Rather, I would beg a boon of your people's knowledge, of childbirth and how the finless ones ease the burdens of their struggling mothers. Zerocious Owen will be my agent in this matter. Heed his words and answer his questions. This is all that I ask. Do you consent? Sure. I'll do what I can. I thank you, honored guest. Go well. Then it is agreed. However, I must consult with her attendants before we speak further. For now, I bid you and Orocious Cole go about your business, but be ready if called upon. Well, wait, Callista Tobu. Have you a moment to converse in private, outside the cups, please? I don't know what this guy's game is. Alright, so first... talk to Pasha Zone here. Ah, Elphinode's friend! You and your companions have done much to repair the damage caused when the waters parted. Anything else you can do? Have you been to the walls of the Forgotten? I think I've just come from them. Are they the ruins to the northwest? Yes, that is the sacred site of which I speak. Could it be that your footsteps were guided there by the ancients? I believe it may be so. Listen then, and I will tell you of our plans to bring light to the walls, that we might answer the shining call of the illuminated land. We have requested a finless craftsman to shape for us a sacred lamp. He is odd for a land dweller, choosing as he does to live in the ocean, but his skill is beyond question. It is concerning, however, that we have heard nothing of his progress. If you were to visit this artisan and return with our long-awaited light, then any doubt as to your purpose would be laid to rest. His name is Grenolt. You will find his workshop in a metal structure to the south. All the way down there. Alright. So then first, we gotta go see what this guy's on about. And then we will head south. suppose going the other way would have been easier. More direct. This wasn't too bad, though. I have not completed my level 80 roll quest. Should I do that before we go farther? 'Tis a rare thing indeed to be granted an audience with the Clutch Mother. I hope this serves to help you understand how important these eggs are to us. Before you came to the cups, I had been searching for a means to assist her in giving birth. That is why I have been studying the relics of your people. Unfortunately, I found nothing that seems suitable for this purpose. I cannot stress to you enough how important she is to us. She is the mother to all Ondo, her every egg brother and sister. We would do anything and everything to welcome them into this world and see them grow into healthy, happy Ondo. There must be some way in which you can help us achieve this end. Coal of the Cups. Okay. So we got the ether current that we could get out of that. Going to reach a point where you won't be able to progress further until you finish the roll quest. Okay. And that's before the end of the main 5.0 story quests. I suppose probably once the quest flipped to like level 80. Get my wall lamp. You can't finish a 5.0 story without at least finishing one of the role quest lines. Gotcha. Okay, well, once we hit that wall, then we can jump over to Yulmore and see that to its conclusion. I knew that that was a holdup at some point. I just wasn't sure if it was going to be before the end of the expansion or if it was into like the 5.1, 5.2, 5.3 content. All right. 365 yalms to the northeast. Alright, so that was the one that was up over here. Alright, let's go talk to this guy, because we'll have to go the other way at some point anyway. Alright, well, they had mentioned to talk to this Grenolt dude, so that's good. Busy guy. Oh, that's just great, that is. My mind's playing tricks on me now. Look, Grenolt, someone's come to visit you at the bottom of the bleeding ocean. Or might be as you're a ghost, eh? Go on, foul shade. Feast yourself on me rotten soul. I've got no use for it. A craftsman what can't craft is more pointless than a sea slug with a dome and hammer.
And that's an insult to bloody sea slugs. Alright, well, we gotta psych him up, I guess. Psych him up. You can do it, you can do it. Eh? You wouldn't be trying to raise me spirits now, would ye? Spirit? Now what you'd expect from a servant of the netherworld. Oh. Have we met before? Might be as we cross paths back in the Crystarium, but I don't reckon we've been formally introduced. Name's Grenold, and this here's meant to be me underwater sanctuary, a place where I can give myself over to my work, far from the distractions of the outside world. And yet here ye stand. Now what's so damned important that ye dive all the way down to the bottom of the bleeding Tempest to bother me? Oh, the Ondo's lamp. Gods curse me empty head! I've not so much as made a start. I'm worthless than a sea slug. Nay, the slime left by a sea slug. Me delivery date's long past. Me workbench is untouched. And I call myself a bleeding artisan. You've heard their beliefs, have ye? Bringing light to them ruins'll be an act of deep religious and cultural significance. And it was my privilege as a craftsman to be tasked with providing a ritual instrument worthy of the occasion. But I just can't bloody well. Gah! Me mind's a bleeding blank. It's like I've pissed away me last drop of inspiration. Tell me you've got summit to show me. Summit will give me a muse, a right good kick up the arse. The Ondo want to honor the coming of these ancients, so their answering lights got to blaze with the right kind of brightness, like the spark of life caught in a crystal. But just being sparkly is not enough. It's got to dance with joy and sorrow and a sense of hardship endured. You know what I mean? Grenold seeks a particular kind of inspiration, the kind that crystallizes only at the culmination of a long and tragic tale. Complete any of the... Oh, okay, so this is the exact spot then. Ha ha ha. Well, there we go. Alright, well, to you more then. Right actually would probably be closer than the top of Yulmore. Did you know it was this quest, or you just remembered it at the right time, baby smell? Oh yeah, that's right, I can fly here. How soon one forgets. I do hope you continue to remain good friends from now on. Alright, Louis Rique, let's finish this off. We're gonna get some materia out of it too. Louis Rique wishes to confront an uncomfortable truth. Courage born of fear. Callista, my friend, my partner, I trust you are ready. Good, good. That is very good indeed, for before we depart to face Andrea, for what I pray is the final time, I have a confession to make. I may have been somewhat misleading when I intimated the tremendousness of my martial prowess. In truth, it rather pales in comparison to yours. Do tell. You must be terribly crestfallen, I am sure. It is my deepest regret that I allowed you to labor under the misapprehension that we were equals for so long. In my defense, I must say that when I realized what an exceedingly powerful warrior you truly are, I was dumbstruck. I struggled to conceive of how even to broach the subject. Furthermore, I must admit that great majority, nay, all of our efforts to hone our skills in preparation for the battle to come have been entirely for my benefit, that the disparity between us might not be so readily apparent. To think that my insecurity drove me to postpone this fateful day for so long. In my cowardice, I allowed Andrea to assemble a party of followers, where before we might have only to contend with the one foe. We must now confront 5, and for all my preparation, I am still no more likely to be an asset to you than a hindrance. But perhaps that need not be the case. In discussing this grim reality with Miss Ovara while you were away, we hit upon a potential stratagem. Recall Yorenda Ray's greatest strength and weakness, her preternatural hearing. We can be reasonably certain that Andrea is possessed of it as well. Therefore, if you were to fashion a device that could produce a loud noise at will, you could use it to secure an advantage in your battle. What I lack in strength of arms I may make up for with guile. While it will not guarantee us victory, it will surely bring us one step closer. 1,000 pardons, Master Reek, but I am come to deliver a message from your Lord Father. Daddy? Oh, what does he want with me now? It has come to your Lord Father's attention that you have acquitted yourself rather poorly as a bounty hunter, and have brought terrible shame upon your family name. He commands you to cease all such activities at once, and return to the city forthwith. Should you fail to do so, you will be stripped of your citizenship and family name. No further financial assistance will be provided. Oh dear. So his family are the last dicks left in Yulemore after everybody else saw the light. You may tell my father and my mother the following, that I am Lue Reek, proud bounty hunter, slayer of sin-eaters, and that I have no intention of renouncing this cause, and that they are free to do as they deem fit. Tell them that if they have no son, then I have no parents, that I have no family save for Miss Ovara, who has shown me more love than they ever have. Very good, Master Reek. I shall deliver your reply to them at once. Right. Now that that's settled, we can get to work crafting the giant noisemaker of ours. Let us consult with the craftsmen of the crystalline mean at once. All the way back to the Crystarium, huh? I dare say you lit a fire in him, Callista. I never thought I'd see the day when he'd muster the courage to say anything like that to his parents. I was gonna say it must have. Which is weird, because that's not a level 80 quest. Like the Vothri fight isn't, and this is. Alright, to the Crystarium. I mean, his parents could just be assholes. There always is that possibility. No change in the world is going to change that in some people. Alright, crystalline mean.
Bum. Also, quickly, while I'm thinking of it, okay. What do you have to say, Louis Rique? For all my time in the Crystarium, I cannot recall ever visiting the Crystalline Mean. Nevertheless, I'm sure there is someone here who can assist us. Loithe? What's all this, then? You got something what needs making? Indeed I do, good sir. I wish to commission the production of a device that can generate a tremendously loud sound. It must be small and light enough to be carried by a single individual as well. Ain't that one of those stranger requests I've heard? Well, if it's just noise you want, then I'd wager we could make do with a special blend of fire sand. Aye, I think I've got just the recipe for your needs. I'll need some choice ingredients, mind, and you'll need to go and fetch them for me. Fetch? What precisely is it that you require? Well, there's this one particular beastie native to Kalusia, what's got a singular diet and leaves these massive dung piles. The fresher the better, if it please. A few varieties of grasses native to Raktika. Oh, and some iron ore from Amareng. I can give you a list if you like. To wit, I will need to travel to the far corners of Norvrent and back. Oh dear, this is rather more involved than I... No more excuses. I will do whatever must needs be done to see this through to the end. My friend, I will not impose these tasks upon you. I insist that you remain here while I go and fetch the required materials. So he went to the bar. Quadrivium. And Nigo's here in the same spot as me. 10 weeks later. It was a series of surprisingly harrowing experiences, but in the end I managed to obtain the materials necessary for the construction of my secret weapon. That gentleman was rather accommodating. Despite being somewhat put out that I had not any gil to pay him for his labor, he was nevertheless willing to teach me how to craft the arrows myself. He said he found my industriousness endearing. I must confess, despite being utterly exhausted by all this busy work, it has been somewhat refreshing. And now that my noisemaker arrows are ready, I cannot wait to put them to the proof. If all goes to plan, the explosion should be loud enough to incapacitate Andrea for a time. Let us put an end to her tale, my friend, and in so doing write the opening of ours, that of Rique and Callista, bounty hunters extraordinaire. Come, Raktika and glory await. Good. So here I thought we were going to have to jump to every single one of the places and go through all the hoops. So that's good at least. Dun dun, bum 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 bum. Alright, yep, back down to the normal spot for these quests. It's been a while since we heard that. We heard it for a split second last night.
Vampire Vine.
Alright, well, let's not fail at this point.
If I make one small request before we begin, please, for the love of the gods, please try not to succumb to any visions of people's pasts. This really could not be a worse time.
He's got a point. I'll try not to. Not that I can control it.
Well, are you still with me in here, in the here and now? Yep. Ah! Excellent. Then we can attend to the task at hand without worry. Let us lay to rest our fellow hunters and grant Rendo Ray the peace a hero deserves.
I'll distract Andrea with a noisemaker arrow. Well, stay away from him. Okay, let's focus on the healer then. Oh! Oh no, 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 no. Wrong buttons. Oh no. That was not great. Shit. How did I fail? I didn't even notice that Louis Reek had lost life that much. Alright, well, I gotta pay more attention to that, I guess. Alright, so I think I do need to focus on the healer first. And try not to accidentally edit my hotbar in the middle of the battle. That's always a good thing, too. Oh, shit. I don't know, I think I'm doing better than last time. Okay. So 2 more to go, so now it's Landbird. I'll draw Andrea, you handle the knight. Oh no, you don't! I was gonna say, like, I don't have any way to heal him, so I don't know what I can do there. Am I just not doing enough damage? Is that what it is? Let some of my cooldowns stop or catch up. We'll try it one more time at normal. If there's a struggle, we'll drop it down to easy. But at that point, I don't know what I can do to try to heal him. I don't have any abilities to do that. I can skip this. But we'll give it another shot. Here goes nothing. Yeah, because I'm just supposed to avoid that since it's a, alright. So yeah, so he's at pretty high health right now. Damn it. Get over here. Now, Callista, now's our chance. Am I supposed to attack her now? Stay out of the things. Almost got him. Alright, we got him. So now it's just her. Oh, shit. Shit, shit, shit. Sorry, sorry, sorry. I missed that part. We almost got her now, though. There we go. Rest in peace, Renda Ray. So unless I missed one of those stack moments with him, I don't know, like, why he died that second time. But we made it through. We won. Even seeing it and saying it, it hardly feels real. Huh? What's that you've got there? Wicked white, you're... You're Rendo Ray! The real Rendo Ray! I should have never betrayed your trust. Never again, I swore. Never again. Balam quits, the Shadowkeeper, the Flood. Come what may, we would face it together, no matter how hard it got or how terrified I was. That's what it means to let someone into your heart, knowing full well that nothing lasts forever. To welcome the fear and the pain, the sorrow. When I lost my parents, when we laid the Keeper low, you felt it too, didn't you? To place our faith in a desperate, hopeless attempt to save everyone, and to see it amount to naught in the end. What else could we do but offer up that tiny remainder in a final, futile effort? Even knowing deep down, it was worth but a few moments more. What is this? You gave me fear, and that fear gave me strength. Wait! There's so much more I want to ask! I don't understand. What was she talking about? Well, you see, it's not right. It's not fair. Heroes sacrificing themselves for nothing? Becoming villains? Being forgotten? Thank you, Callista. I could have never gotten this far without your help. I had no idea who Renda Ray or any of the other Warriors of Light truly were. 'Twas all ancient history to me. Why would I care who some eaters once were? I was no better than my parents, judging them out of hand, dismissing their sacrifice, not bothering to look deeper. It made it all the easier to pursue Andrea for my own amusement. I pray I've made up for it in part by helping to lay Renda Ray's soul to rest. Miss Olvara is probably worried sick about us both. We should return to Kalusia and let her know we're all right. Let's do that then. Though, I mean, we figured out what we have to do to not turn into a Sin Eater, though, is basically just do anything other than the MSQ, and then we're not going to turn into a Sin Eater. Like, we haven't had any, like, fits at all during this whole path. Go do crafting. Nothing bad will happen when we go do crafting, you know? It's almost like all of this is just some construct that a group of people came up with for their own amusement, the amusement of others. What people would do this? I can't wait to tell Miss Ovara everything, and I should definitely use some of the bounty to treat her. My little Reek, Callista, congratulations on a job well done. And from one hunter to another, thank you for helping Renda Ray to achieve a measure of peace. She was a hero to me too, and it broke my heart to know what had become of her. To have your legacy tarnished so, to have the world call you villain even still. But at least I can take comfort in knowing she can finally enjoy a long rest. Whatever others may say, we will preserve the truth in story and song. Renda Ray, the bravest hunter there ever was, and more importantly, a true friend to those she held dear. I can only hope to measure up to her example someday. For now, however, I say we return to the Crystarium and raise a glass in celebration. So she brought down Balam Quits not alone, but with the aid of her comrades, It may not be the story I was taught, but somehow it rings truer to my ear. Alright, back to the Crystarium then. And then we'll wrap up this part of the story. And then we'll be able to continue on. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, don't jump on the tables, even if you're the Warrior of Darkness. Andrea's bounty has been paid to us in full, my friend. So come, let us eat, drink, and be merry. I've been meaning to ask, Callista, but I have the impression you are rather more acquainted with these Warriors of Light than you've been letting on. What exactly do you know about them? Well, one of them's been following me around for a while. Meanwhile, all of our friends are just hanging out in the bottom of the ocean, toiling to try to figure things out. I'm just sitting here, palling around with a dude, eating and drinking. That is so preposterous a tale that I have no choice but to assume it is true. Offering up their lives to first cross the rift, then to halt the flood. Wicked White. It must have taken her so much courage to see it through in those final moments. A courage born not of a desire for glory or dedication to an ideal, but of fear and love for those with whom she had forged unshakable bonds, her comrades. I won't pretend that we have anything even approaching such a powerful connection, but I would like to think if you were in mortal peril that I would fly to your side without hesitation. Well, let me tell you something else, Louis Reek. Having said that, if I were tested as Renda Ray were, if I were challenged to offer up my life for others, without even knowing if it would amount to aught, I doubt I could rise to the occasion.
I am a child and a fool who knows little of the world. I have been coddled and spoiled, and I have only tasted the bitter fruits of life that you and countless others sup on daily. You are made of sterner stuff, Callista, far sterner than me, and that is why I know I can never walk your path. No shame in that. It's not all it's cracked up to be. Oh, but there is. I cannot recall a time I have felt happier and more alive than when I have traveled with you. But you have countless other journeys ahead of you, don't you? For you are destined for greater challenges, whereas I am suited to rather more pedestrian affairs. Know your limits, as Miss Olvara used to say. Meeting her again after all these years, seeing how much older and more frail she'd become, made me realize how little time together we have left. She shouldn't have to live out her days living alone and in squalor. I have decided it will not be so. I shall return to Kalusia and attend to her needs, for I would do my utmost to repay the love and kindness that made me the man I am today. Therefore, though it pains me to say it, I fear this celebration must also mark the end, or at the very least a tentative suspension, of the glorious partnership that was Reek and Callista, bounty hunters extraordinaire. Should you ever find yourself in Kalusia, however, do come and pay us a visit. Speaker for the brave. Alright, now we can continue onwards. Whoops, I guess we didn't need Lance Charge. Or that's, Life Surge, sorry. Back to the cups. And back out to that other fella. But before we continue on, I am going to take a quick break. So, we will hang out here for a moment. Okay, so back to the south here. And see if the crystal we got is going to help this fella out. I'm sure it will. Whoa. The game didn't like things for a second there. Alright, yeah, I've got you to myself now, Granold. Nobody else is hanging out here. I've let the Ondo down, aye, but more than that, I've let myself down. Might as well go back to mending kettles. What's that you've got there? Such striking beauty. It shines with heartache and laughter and the transience of life, like the turmoil of history made manifest. Aye, I can see the brilliance of the crystal's legacy. Ah, he'd never capture such a gleam, not if he labored 100 years. But bugger me if I don't mean to try. Where are me tools, gods damn ye? I must set to work before the feeling fades.
All the materia. Bum, 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 bum. So quick arm or battle dance. I think quick arm is better for me. I mean, Heaven's Eye is exactly what I need. Direct hit rate. The illuminated land. Grenold is brimming with newfound inspiration. I can feel it, a vision forming in me mind. Step aside, lass, and let me itching hands get to work. Let me itching hands go get to work. And done. I've taken the wonders that Crystal showed me and channeled them into a new shape, what befits the Ondo's spiritual character. It's big. Not a bad job, if I do say so myself. And to think I was this close to hanging up me hammer after studying the craft of them ancients. I've been across the length and breadth of Norvrant and gobbled up every scrap of craft and wisdom what I could find. But no matter which technique I tried, my work was just no comparison. I couldn't even figure out how they put them damn buildings together. A mystery for the ages. That's what drew me here in the first place. I built me workshop, got the forges burning, then lost me bleedin' will to craft. Thank the gods for that crystal of yours, or I might never have gotten it back. I won't pry into your business, but I reckon your little miracle there has been through the kind of journey that they sing songs about. The echoes of the memory it holds just speak directly to your heart. Aye, I can still feel 'em coursing through me. The inspiration's not fading away, it's welling up stronger and stronger. Give me the chance and I reckon I can weave the Crystal Saga into other things as well. But bugger me, I'd almost forgotten the Ondo's commission. If ye could drag that lamp over to Tolsh's Oth for me, I'll stay here and dream up new armaments for ye to try. It is really hard to read that naturally. You now have access to Grenold's Forge. Equipment rewards will become available for collection based on the role quest you have completed. Yeah, that's not bad. So this is like the level 80 gear, right? Alright. Let's gear up then. Oh. No belt. 420. Woo! Let's see, what's really holding me back? Rings. Always the rings. That's why I gotta get that goldsmith up. Alright, well let's... That's pretty cool gear. I haven't got armor for my tail, it looks like. Makes sense. Oh. I didn't notice that here before. I feel like I found a lot more of those naturally throughout this part of the game so far than I did for others. So then if I went to him as a monk, is it going to give me the level 80 gear for the monk? Not that I have a monk that's level 80. Or even, not that I even have a monk, but, or a pugilist. Alright, so now that we got a moment, and then we can just teleport back to the city, because that's where we're going next. Let's scope this out quick. I have a feeling it's going to be in the Crock of Pearls. What a crock. King Croc. Killer Croc. To the northeast. I was going to say, this guy's going the same spot, it looks like. $810 yalms to the west. So it's probably down here. That was that one that was saying to the south before. This will be faster, I think. Maybe not. That was the entrance right there, probably. Oh well.
What is it that you have there? The sacred lamp! Then the finless one has kept his promise. My people tell me of the many deeds you have performed in the name of aiding the cups. And now you come to me, bearing the light we had almost surrendered hope of ever seeing. We can doubt your purity no longer. Your arrival was the will of the ancients. Yes, the time for fear has passed. We shall take the lamp and unveil its austere illumination upon the walls of the Forgotten. Gather there with your companions, and we shall speak again once our prayers have been offered.
O stewards of the Ondo, we offer up our light in answer.
That crystal you showed the artisan. Was it... Did it belong to one of my friends?
Yep. I thought you were always watching.
I tried to give you a measure. No one wants a spirit looking over their shoulder every moment of the day.
There's truth to that.
So tell me, if you would, how did you come across that crystal?
It's hard. So I'm watching Breaking Bad at the same time as playing this right now. Or not right now, but currently.
Brenda raised then?
So whenever they say crystal, it's like flashback over to the other side and vice versa.
Strange that I should learn such things now, after they're long gone. They were fine friends, every one of them. I didn't expect death to teach me so much. About them, about Seto, about you, about the hope that hides at the heart of this world. I've never been one for idle chit-chat, but if by some miracle I could see them all again, I doubt I would ever stop talking. I'm grateful I got to bend your ear at least. And just for that, I reckon I'll stick with you. To the very end.
I mean, it's not like you have much of a choice, Ardbert.
Apologies, we were a little late to the gathering.
It seems we succeeded in gaining their trust.
The delay wasn't exactly welcome, but at least our many hands made light work. And they seemed especially impressed with your contribution. Our hero indeed.
Y'shtola was telling us those structures may date back to the age of the Ascians.
An Ascian homeland. Despite his many protestations, I never quite believed Emmett Selk was telling the truth.
The whole truth and nothing but the truth.
But there is no denying the evidence before our eyes. Clearly this was once a great city. A home they would see restored, no matter how many tens of thousands of years it takes.
It's a hollow dream when you think about it. Even if they manage to rejoin all the worlds, they'll never bring back the ones who were lost. But would I have done any different?
How are you feeling?
I'm fine. That's pretty white.
You have completed your devotions?
Yes. To the honored ancients have we offered up our prayers and our gratitude. You too have our thanks.
Might we trouble thee then to tell us more of the illuminated land of which thou didst lately speak?
To the west of here lies a great trench. Some days ago, a light appeared in that endless darkness. Curious, we ventured closer and discovered in the depths an entire city. The buildings we spied were akin to our own everlasting abodes, impossibly so. We understood at once the ancients had risen. There could be no doubt. Taken with terror, we retreated to the cups, and I decreed that none should enter the trench until such time as we received a sign.
Might it still be possible to reach this city of the ancients?
With no water to drown you, a finless one could now travel there. Yes.
Yes.
I am convinced you are the sign for which we have been waiting. My people will show you the way.
Shall we?
We shall. The chieftain has bid me guide your steps to the illuminated land. Come, this way lies downwards. Follow the path of coral and rock and join your comrades below. Yeah, we already stumbled down here once. Oh, there they all are. Oh! I didn't even hear you attack. Oh no! Don't help. Just stand there. That's fine. I don't need you guys. Had it all under control. Don't worry. I screwed that up. Enter the cavern beyond and follow the wall down and down and down. Once at the bottom, find a passage to the northwest. Then continue west and west and west. The way is not simple. Keep your friends within shouting distance and do not stray into the deep. Just before the journey's end, you will find the Caliban Gap and the barrier we placed at its mouth. This obstacle will fade should you raise a hand towards it. We have made it so. A most succinct explanation. We thank you for your guidance. Right. Deeper into the depths we go. The rocks and coral bunch up by the cavern wall like a staircase of sorts, but be careful. You wouldn't want to slip up from here. Or slip from up here. Ah. I've fallen from higher, I think. As long as I'm not in combat, I can take any fall damage. Thancred. I'd wager these bursts of water could carry you clear to the top again. Not that I'm eager to try it. Ah, this is the spot when we wandered down here before that we didn't see. Our guide bade us travel to the cavern floor and thence to the west. Yet 'twould seem these twisting tunnels defy such simple instruction. Rather than rely on direction alone, I suggest we scout with care and relay the path ahead to those who come behind. I mean, as long as there's not forks. Like, there's no way to really get lost here. Y'shtola hath forged ahead. Shall we continue on our own advance? Yup. The rock drops off sharply here, but I think this coral thick enough to serve as a bridge. Looks slippery. Sounds slippery, too. A sea anemone enemy. 130 yalms to the west. Oh, there it is. Ah, Callista. You have a choice of 2 routes from here. You can either take the long way to the south along the rocks, or skip along this coral branch as Alice has done. I, for one, shall be following my sister's example. Girl. Elfino was never heard from again. We'll go this way because of the ether current. Ether current. Alright, west and west and west and west. Phew, not to it. Alice has already gone on ahead. We should catch up to her. Yep, I had to go do that in order to... it was the quest that I was on that moment that sent me back up to do it. So you are very timely, Baby Smell. We're not going to be able to unlock that until we get over there. There's Alice. So yep, Renda Ray is defeated. There you are. Come on. I think I found the tunnel we were looking for. Oops. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, what am I caught on? Stingray. Oh, it's right there. Can't be too many more left. Just two. 2 more. Literally. Northwest. Alright, well, the direction we're heading. Alright, this is the barrier they talked about. Wandering Hydrozoans. To the west. Alright. Through the barrier we go. Hi-ho, hi-ho.
Here, this must be the barrier to the Ondo spoke of. Well, that was rather more arduous than expected. I feel a sudden rush of gratitude for the smooth roads our ancestors cut through the wilderness. 'Twas a treacherous path indeed. Now, I believe one of us needs but raise a hand to banish this next obstacle. Callista, I elect you do the honors. I have to do everything. Gone, just like that. I suppose we should head in. I did good. Like as not, this tunnel is just as perilous as the road we walked to get here. Let's all stay aware of our surroundings, shall we? Papa Thancred. Find your buddy. Alright, Reen, what did you want to say? That is a very long drop. Please, no heroic jumps over the edge, Callista. I don't think my heart could take it. I'm a dragoon. I'm supposed to jump. Nay, I'd not want to chance that leap. Hugging the northern wall on the way down seems the wiser proposition. Whoop. Bunch of bad guys. $131. There it is. $303 yalms to the south. So down in this area here. Yeah, at least these aren't nearly as spread out as they were in the locks at the end of Stormblood. Some of those were bonkers to try to get to. Watch your footing here. I wouldn't envy the climb back up if you fell. Am I not supposed to go that way? Nope, I am not. Okay, good call. Danbanya.
By the gods.
That's quite the city.
The Ondo spoke of a city. I did not think they meant an actual city.
Then we are seeing the same view. The remnants in the Ondo settlement were solid material structures. But these...
They're all ether?
Everything here pulses with ether. 'Tis an enchantment on a monumental scale.
Emmett Selk was like, it would be like, thank you. I'm glad you're impressed. Of course, someone with as small and insignificant of a mind as you would be impressed by this. One cannot blame the Ondo for fleeing the spectacle of these brooding edifices. We, however, have not the luxury of fear. Emmett Selk holds the Exarch captives somewhere within that vast city. Yet even if we must search every alleyway, we will find them. When the chieftain spoke of light shining from the abyss, this is not at all what I imagined. Why would Emmett Selk do this? Reen? You'd think all those tall, dark buildings would be frightening, but for some reason they just make me feel sad. It's big, I'll grant you, but cluttered city streets are far more conducive to infiltration than wide open spaces. This will work to our advantage, trust me. Callista, did you note the style of the architecture? 'Tis the same used for the remnants at the cups and the murals painted towers. Look closely. Emmett Selk has not simply reclaimed these ruins. He has layered the semblance of an entire city upon them. Gods, the magnitude of his artifice is staggering. Though it pains me to admit, we did not fully understand the feats of which an old-world Ascian is capable. So yeah, so quick arm. I suppose we could slot some of that materia into our level 80 equipment here. Would maybe be wise.
Savage might.
Alice is steeling herself for the task ahead. The end of a world. It's intimidating, yes, but we have to start somewhere. Why don't we have a closer look at the tower to the southeast? We might be able to reach it from the edge of the trench. Seven yalms to the south. Okay, so we should be coming upon it shortly here. There we go. I was gonna say, hopefully there is a Aetheryte somewhere down here, because that's a long trek to do if we don't get to it. A long trek. This music's interesting. Like, oddly sweet and oddly discordant, and like off rhythm at times. It's pretty neat. Imposing doors. Much imposing. Very doors. Look at the size of those doors. Now I know how pixies must feel. Callistu Tobu recognized. Welcome to the city of Omerat. Will you be riding the lift? Did the building just welcome you? Mayhap it is not so passing strange. Did Emmett Selk not invite Callista to visit his abode? 'Tis plain thy coming was expected. And where will this lift be taking us? The lift services entry level of Achora Heights. Or Akora Heights? That probably is more like what it is. But it is presently configured to convey passengers directly to the ground floor. Well, there you have it. In the absence of some few hundred yalms of rope, we have little choice but to accept the offer. With emphasis on the we, I am not about to let you walk into that place alone. I wish to ride the lift. As you wish, the lift will arrive shortly. Next stop, ground floor. Facilities include the Bureau of the Administrator, the Bureau of the Architect, and the Capitol. I just can't believe how tall everything is. Seems peaceful enough, he said, tempting fate. Each of these towers seems a veritable city in itself. Even a Gigas would feel inadequate in such surroundings. Just a moment, I thought I saw something. If mine eyes do not deceive, we stand in some manner of communal square. It's only at this distance that you start to realize just how big the buildings truly are. What did that voice call this city? Omerat? Look, over there. Ah. Is that a person? Ah, no. My mistake, that's a giant. Reunion! It doesn't seem to have noticed us yet. Giant or no, a resident of this place may have much and more to tell us. I say we make the first move. Alpha, no, you can't just... Ugh! Are we in Persona now? Pray excuse my boldness, but might I ask you a few questions? So, like that background and color scheme is usually used when Ascians speak, right? How odd. That sounded like no language I've ever heard, and yet I understood every word. Just as he understood us. Ahem. And which district is this exactly? You must be lost, poor things. Polylarite District, wherein lie the institutions most vital to the management of our star. Can you tell us where to find Emmett Selk? That's who we're looking for. I see. You've come to marvel at the workings of the Convocation of 14. Hardly surprising, I suppose. The whole world holds its breath as the final days draw near, and our brightest minds race to implement their plans. Thus, you must understand that gaining an audience at this time will be next to impossible. You should hurry home now before your families begin to worry. Do you need me to walk you back? At least it's friendly. No, thank you. We will be fine. Very well. Take care, little ones. Interesting. What was that all about? To my eyes, these people appear as arcane entities. I suspect Emmett Selk wove them from ether, much as he reconstructed the rest of the city. The final days. Such words will well befit the oblivion described to us by our Asian foe. A catastrophe of unprecedented scale, which did set in motion the summoning of Zodiac, and thence Heidelin herself. But that happened centuries and centuries ago, didn't it? That man spoke as if they were rushing to avert a disaster here and now. Unless, for these people, the distant past is the here and now. I believe thou hast the right of it, Master Alphino. This ethereal Amarot and its residents appear to be phantoms of a different age. Emmett Selk hath resurrected a memory, a moment in time from before the star was sundered. So, we find ourselves in a long-destroyed city inhabited by the long-departed. An unusual situation, to be sure, but at least we're able to parley with these ancients. In fact, they seem downright eager to chat. I say we use this to our advantage. Split up, strike up some conversations, and see if we can't learn the location of our quarry. And while we're at it, it wouldn't hurt to wheedle out a few more details regarding this Convocation of 14 and their impending disaster. To mingling, then. Let's meet back here when our jaws start aching. Oh. I mean, they are right. Everything is, like, huge. Ah, the door opened. Loquacious Amaratine.
One can never be too young to take an interest in the rhetorical arts. Welcome, little one, welcome. 'Twould seem the hall is host to a most precocious visitor this day. And what, pray tell, shall be the subject of our discussion, young one? Ah, the convocation and their handling of the coming peril. 'Tis only natural that you should have questions. Shall we begin with the members themselves? As all know, the 14 are the wisest and most puissant among us. They are the stewards of order, responsible for decisions which keep this star turning season after season. Be it the speaker, La Habrea, or the emissary, Elidibus, each seat is occupied by an elected sage of surpassing intellect. Lawgriff, Metron, Emmet Selk, their individual titles have, as a gesture of respect and a matter of tradition, become synonymous with their incumbents. Thus it is with great incredulity that I greet this recent rumor that the seat in the convocation is soon to be left vacant. If proven true, 'twould be an unprecedented development, and testament to the immense pressure under which our saviors are toiling. In any event, I for one am confident they shall deliver our star unto salvation. Oh, and with that, he's gone. How may I help you, little one? Do you wish to peruse the transcripts of the great debates? Or would you like to reserve a room for the discussion? We are here to serve your needs. Ugh. It makes you feel like a little person. Like we're in like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids or something. Anxious Amaratine. Good gracious, child, where is your family? You should not be alone at a time like this. Run along home quickly now. Have you not heard? Though yet confined to the lands across the sea, a terrible phenomenon afflicts our star. They are calling it the final days. 'Tis said it starts suddenly, a cacophonous keening from beneath the earth. The sound distorts all living things within earshot, and wrests from us control of our creation magics. Once that happens, all is lost. Fear, pain, despair, every dread impulse is siphoned from our minds and given substance. An eternal fall of fiery rain, an incessant spawning of nightmarish beasts. None can point to the source of the phenomenon. 'Tis as if the star itself has fallen ill, as if a force inimical to life now festers and spreads. 'Tis only a matter of time until Amarat, too, resounds to that discordant squall. You should stay with your loved ones, child. Stay with them. Will I finish 5.0 tonight because I'm close to the end? Probably not. Because I'm guessing... I mean, I'm in the level 80 quests now, and I think there's a couple of those. Plus, then it's queuing for whatever else that we would have to do yet. I don't know that we would finish that prior to, like, 2 a.m. tonight, and I don't know that I want to stay up till 2 a.m. So it'll probably be Friday night to wrap everything up. Probably going to call it quits here after we finish this quest and can attune to the Aetheryte here. So yeah, I was hoping to, but stuff took a little bit longer than I expected. Bureau attendant. This is the Bureau of the Architect, little one. If you require assistance, I should be glad to assist you, but are you certain this is where you should be? Passionate Amaratine.
This your first time here? Take a number if you haven't already, then settle in for a good long wait. Welcome to the Bureau of the Architect, little one. I should be glad to assist you in locating the concept you seek after I have finished assisting those ahead of you in the queue. An audience with Emmett Selk? I am afraid you have the wrong office, little one. And besides, he will be far too busy to field the questions of curious children. Surely you have been told of the looming catastrophe. Every resource available to the Convocation must be spent upon ensuring our world survives. They have yet to make an official announcement, but it is said the 14 are moving forward with a plan of scarce credible proportions, one which promises to grant will to the very star itself. They will invoke our mightiest spells of creation to birth an entity of all-encompassing magnificence, and then they will rewrite the laws of existence. 'Tis a huge undertaking, and it must be completed ere the corruption spreads this far. Thus, I say to you again, do not hold out hope for an audience. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, so let's get attuned to this bad boy here. Just so that we have that in our pocket. Not a lot of people hanging out here. Alright. So now we can mount up and head back to where the quest turning in is. Yeah, because I would hazard a guess, especially with queue times, we would have at least another 2 hours in front of us. I could be wrong. So I think it's best to finish up on Friday, and then we can just jump right into the 5.1 stuff. I was gonna say there's an off chance I would maybe stream tomorrow afternoon, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I'd love to, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Well, that was an experience. I was never very fond of being treated like a child, but it did make asking questions less suspicious. Callista, if I was not certain before than I am now, the people of the city believe they face the end of the world. I cannot imagine what purpose compelled Emmett Selk to recreate this ancient Amarat. And yet I fancy I hear his words to us echoing throughout this ocean trench. He would have his story known. More! More! A greater purpose. Alphino is awaiting the return of your other companions. And let's see, we got... So these must be the other quests for the Ether Currents. So yeah, so I think that's where we're gonna call it quits tonight. Because I just think that makes the most sense from a timing perspective. Because yeah, there's at least one more quest. I'm pretty sure there's a couple more quests